I think I was one of the first, and in fact, only to come out as Prime Minister once the decision had been made, what these conditions were, and mention that it's not just the three that were mentioned in the press. As a result thereof, all three countries did not agree with the handling of it in that Kingdom of Council of Ministers meeting, and as such, it has been postponed for 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, the intention is for us to meet, discuss, and come to agreements, and that is the only reason why I have not further discussed the conditions. While you're in the process of negotiation, things will change and can change. So it did not behoove us as government to, at that time, once we'd started to renegotiate the discussion and have the discussions on the way forward, to come out until we have a resolution or not. So since we are still in the discussions with the State Secretary, I can mention that when she was here, I was able to have a private meeting with her on Ascension Day morning and breakfast, and show her how culturally we celebrate our breakfasts. And in the following day, she met with several stakeholders in the evening and other entities. And on Friday morning, we held a meeting, which was also divided in two. One part was with the unions of St. Maarten. All the unions were represented. They were able to bring forth their concerns, and she was able to respond to them. And then we proceeded with a Council of Ministers meeting, whereby we discussed our concerns with the conditions set to remove the condition of 12.5% that was put on the population in order for us to receive liquidity back in 2020. The State Secretary, as she mentioned in her press statements, is in agreement that it should be lifted. However, at the end of the day, there is a political agenda that she has to also adhere to. And so these were the conditions that they felt were necessary. The three countries are not in agreement with all of the conditions, and as such, we are still in deliberation to be able to see what can still be changed. There is no further clarity or no final decision on that. I did receive this morning an invite for a meeting next week to further discuss it again with all four of us, Curaçao, Aruba, St. Maarten, and the Netherlands. But I have requested an earlier meeting before the end of this week to get further clarity so that we can proceed, because I do not believe that it is fair 2 or 3 days before the Kingdom Council of Ministers meeting to then have final discussions. So we had discussions when the State Secretary was here. Further update is that the technical teams are in Curaçao, having further deliberations on the responses to the reports of the parliaments on the coho itself. And so there is a lot going on at the same time.